Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today I wanted to do a rant about our idiosyncrasies with gaming. What do you have habits, routines, or rituals that you will often do with games or gaming or game collecting or game playing or allocating your time towards games? I've actually seen quite a few rants on this, so it's even hard to do a video response because I've seen so many other gamers that have talked about it. And I love to see, it's one of the favorite things, is to look inside someone's mind or their home even and see how they game, how they like to do things, what their habits are. And I've had some friends recently, I've kind of talked about this on Twitter and what have you, and how they finish games or don't finish them or jump around or what have you. And I thought about my own. I wanted to kind of share my own ideas about gaming. So, and I've mentioned this before in other rants, quite often in the old days, I didn't know. I was living, one day at a time. If someone asked me what I was doing that coming Friday night, I couldn't tell you to save my life. I was pretty much living in the now and just depended really on how I felt, caffeine levels, serotonin levels, whatever it was. I mean, I would come home and impulsively, it would either be a manhunt day or Gran Turismo, or, it really was kind of in whatever mood I was in. Now I take the time to I'll think about it throughout the day or throughout the week even, and I kind of plan my gaming out ahead of time. So I've kind of changed in many respects. Part of that just comes with age and wisdom, or just, being older. I have more responsibilities now, and I'm more conscientious of all of the things that I have to be responsible for, and other people that I have to share my time with. My phone, sometimes it's, even though I want to shut my phone off and just get into gaming, I have a hard time. That's why I rarely game during the day anymore. I used to, but not as much, because I like to be able to answer my phone. I have my own painting contracting business, where I do painting and decorating, and interior design, help people with the remodeling of their kitchens, and I'll do their cabinets and paint their home and accent walls and faux finishes and even murals. So it's something that's it's fun to do, but it's a mindless job, frankly. I'm basically a painter. So I'll go into a home, and I've mentioned this before, and it's some older rants, and it's easy. It's like you don't have to apply a lot of thought. You could be drunk off your ass, you could be sick, you could be tired, and it's mindless. You've done it for so many, 20-odd years, that there's like no thought in it. So what it does is it provides me the opportunity to daydream throughout the day, and I'm often thinking about games, I'll think about movies too. Oh my God, I can't wait to get home and watch this new film. In fact, there was a new Woody Allen movie we just watched. I think it was called Blue Moon. Really good movie. Had Andrew Dice Clay, some other unusual actors in it, and I really enjoyed it. So I knew that was coming in Netflix. Quite often I'll think throughout the day, I can't wait to get home and watch that Netflix movie when I get home. And we did. Over the weekend we watched Blue Moon, and really it was a wonderful film. Highly recommended if you like Woody Allen. Not everyone likes his taste in drama and comedies, but it was one of his better ones I've seen recently. But most of the time it's about gaming, and I'll think about the game that I want to buy. Now, I just got an ad actually on my email from GameStop, and they said I've been waiting to get this new Splinter Cell Blacklist for, God, the longest time, and it's been at like $59.99 forever. I can't believe it's been out for so many months. The price hasn't dropped. Well, they had a deal for this weekend only, or this last weekend, I think for 2 or 3 days only, the price went down to $19.99. So, like $40 off. So that's kind of one of my rituals in the morning, is I go through my emails, and I always read my GameStop deals, because they always give you an upcoming, it's kind of like one of my little habits, is that I like to see what's out. And I'm on kind of a budget with gaming. I make pretty good money at times, but I can't go nuts and go out and buy every game brand new at $60 a pop. It adds up. It's expensive. So about half of my games I'll do that, but the other half I'll pretty much wait until they come down on sale. And sometimes you don't have to wait too long. Within 6 weeks or so, you get a $20 price drop on a game. Or if it's not doing real well or receiving kind of mixed reviews, you'll see the price drop. And it makes me feel bad, because I like to support the gaming studios. And I don't have an issue with paying full price when I can afford it. But I bought so many games last year that this was one that got pushed back, and I felt bad. There was like 2 other games I bought around the same time this came out. But I bought the game. And it was the last one they had, thank God. I went in there, Saturday morning and got it. I like to collect the games. I get kind of anal retentive, which To quote Woody Allen is probably a polite word for what I am. But I'm funny about things. So, like, because I have all the other Splinter Cells on the Xbox 360, I bought this in the Xbox 360. Now, I've maxed out my hard drive. I've used up the whole 250 gigs on my hard drive, which reminds me of another point, is that I like to install every single game on my hard drive on the Xbox 360, and where it's applicable with the PlayStation 3 as well. I feel that it saves wear and tear on the machine. It's not spooling up the disk as much. The load times are a little faster. Sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes it's not. But I just, for the longevity of the machine, I feel it's the best way. You really get the best performance. I've seen some friends that have had games that they don't play real well, and I said, "Have you installed the disc?" And they go, "No." I said, "Well, just try installing it." Some of them have actually listened to me. Like the game Rage is a good example. It plays noticeably better when you install the game into your hard drive, especially on the Xbox 360. So my hard drive's maxed out, so quite often I'll actually get games for the PlayStation 3 because that hard drive I've barely used. But because I'm kind of loyal, I like to have all the games for the same console. I don't know why. It's just one of those idiosyncrasies. So I got this Splinter Cell Blacklist for the Xbox 360, and I got Splinter Cell Double Agent and Conviction, which I'm actually about 60-70% of the way through Conviction, which is a great game. So I've been dying to get this. But I like to take care of my disc. I mean, I'll make sure they have, when I buy used ones, that they have the original booklets. I like this pivot the disc so that they're always face up. I'm just kind of funny about that. And I just like to take care of my games that way. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll get used games. Like I did recently. I went out and I got, I bought, what was it, Call of Duty. It was the big red one for the PlayStation 2 and Finest Hour. And quite often they'll have a variety of stickers. Some of them have been on there forever. And you go to peel the stickers off and there's some paper still stuck on there and adhesive. And I hate that. I like to get the most mint copies I can. I got Fallout 3 recently and it had some light scratches on one of the discs. And I go, well, I got such a good deal on it at GameStop. I went ahead and took the chance. But the game, because of the scratches, it wouldn't install on my hard drive. So I took it back to the hell, I'll just get a brand new one. It's too good of a game to get a chewed up one. So I've got a brand new one. I'm just kind of funny that way. Sometimes I'll go to my mom and pop store and they'll have a great game. The disc is clean, but it's missing the original booklet. And I'll pass on it. I'll wait, or I'll have them order me one from one of the other stores, and I'll wait 3 to 5 days, and they'll ship it in from another store, 20, 30 miles away sometimes. And that works for me. I like having the original, collecting the original games, with the booklets, everything. I just like it the way. In fact, this game is, I'm actually playing World at War right now. But I like having the original booklets. Today, you can barely get, the games with original booklets. But I just like referring to it. I like to look at it almost like preserving a time capsule. Even whatever little ads came with it. Here's a little thing that came with it here on Call of Duty. Go online and check it out. I like to save all of the original material that came with it, advertisements for other games from Activision or whatever. It's just great. So I try to find clean games, but quite often, you'll get them and there's stickers all over them, and I can't handle that. Some guys, they leave the little plastic strips down. They'll just cut them real quick and they'll never take them off. It drives me crazy. I can't even put the game in until I take the little stickers off. I'm kind of funny that way. Now, if you're wanting to know how to remove the adhesive, I have a secret. I'm a graphic designer and artist, and they have this stuff at art supply places called Bestine. It's a rubber cement thinner. This is an old trick I've used for years, and what this is perfect for is artwork or photographs that have old Scotch tape and adhesive still stuck in them. It's very good because it's where you have delicate things that you don't want to destroy. I mean, you could use lacquer thinner or paint thinner. It'll take the adhesive off, but it'll haze the plastic because it'll dissolve the petroleum product in the plastic. This won't damage it. I can take a tissue or a napkin and fold it in half and just soak this on there and just hold it on there for a minute, and then the paper with the adhesive will just fall right off. You just wipe it right off. You get a brand new case again. So I'm kind of funny about collecting that way. That's one of my idiosyncrasies with collecting, is that I just like to have everything nice and clean and preserve the game. So I'm kind of going back through it. I'll probably some of my greatest hits for the PlayStation 1 and 2 I'll probably replace with the original, solid boxes or the original tall boxes for the PS1. I like to, when I can. Last summer I was in just a hurry to play so many great games. I'd find the game in a good case with the original booklet and a clean mint disc and all that. But it was a greatest hits one. I just thought, hell with it, I'd buy it anyway. There's people have funny habits with collecting that way. I'm looking forward to collecting, this when I get my Super NES and Xbox and finding a lot of those games. Now, when I find those old Super NES games, I'll probably collect those in the original boxes. I don't care if it costs me substantially more. That's part of the collecting, is I like to see the original packaging box, little instruction leaflet, whatever it came with it. It's just a wonderful way of just kind of preserving those memories. I mean, I still have every box for every console that I have. And I keep all the styrofoam, instructions, everything in them, and I just put them away in the closet because I can. They take up a lot of space. I probably should just toss them, but I like to occasionally just come out and just look at the box and see the original ads on it. It's just kind of neat. It's just as a collector. But that's one of my, collecting idiosyncrasies. As far as my gaming habits, I don't game that much during the daytime. Part of it is I got to have my phone. Like right now, I put my phone on vibrate. It's on the desk in the other room in my office because I don't want to be interrupted. Sometimes I forget. I need business right now. It's a kind of slow time of year in January, early February. So I'm trying to answer the phone when it rings, and I probably should have it on now, but I'm going to just do this rant because I have a little bit of time off. And it's nice to have the time off to do these rants. So lately I've been on a roll and cranking out a bunch of them because when I'm working, I'm just too wiped out and tired. I got huge bags under my eyes when I come home, and dark circles around my eyes quite often. So I'm a little bit more, well rested now and all that. I enjoy doing these rants when I'm, a little bit better mindset, mood to do them. But my gaming during the daytime, now if I'm homesick, like I had in 2012, I was really sick for a week with a horrible cold, and I played L.A. Noire, which I had bought brand new. I had all the DLC for it, but when I'm sick, I like to play all day. I'm feeling miserable, and I don't even notice a sore throat. I don't even care about being stuffed up. I'm so into the game. It's a great way to take my mind off the discomfort of being sick. Quite often, if it's raining out too, if I'm home, like I'm a painter, sometimes I can't do exteriors, especially when it's raining. We have a lot of rain up here in Sacramento. We're having kind of a dry spell right now. But if it's raining out, it's wonderful. It's kind of overcast. There's not a lot of glare in my living room. And I like to game when it's dark. So I'll pull the shades down a little bit, and it's just kind of dark and cozy. And it's just nice when it's cold and miserable outside, and you can be inside enjoying your favorite game on console of choice. That's a lot of fun. I did a rant earlier, I can't remember what it was called, or I was talking about, gaming over the summer. I did a lot of summer gaming. I went out and bought another PlayStation 2, which was a great investment. I love that. And right off the bat, I knew I was going to be getting a Super NES and, maybe some Sega systems and what have you. So I said, I'm going to start looking now for an analog TV. And man, a lot of them were hard to find. They're starting to get picked over now because I think people are getting hip to their collectible. And I looked at a bunch of them. They were like, 19-inch ones and 20-inch ones, and some were off-brand ones. Some of them were, in rough shape. But I found a wonderful deal on an older, I don't know what year it is, but it's a nice Sony 27-inch Sony Trinitron progressive scan TV with built-in surround, all the bells and whistles. Unfortunately, it was missing the remote control. Who knows, maybe I could find a universal remote, but all the buttons work on top of the TV. I just use that. And it looks great. I use an S-video cable, hooked up my PlayStation 2 to it, and it's awesome. In my little gaming room, which, when I do my Escape to Gaming show, I have a little set painted on one wall, but the whole room is painted with that theme of the two-tone gray and the orange stripes. I have a couple stripes in that room. And it's a fun, cheerful room. I got my Budweiser neon. Sometimes at nighttime I'll put just the glow of that red Budweiser neon in the room and just leave all the lights off. And it's cozy in there. And I go in, and especially in the summertime, that's the coolest room in the house. And I have my little beach chair that I picked up, and I sit in that chair, and I'm right at home. And I love sitting there and playing my old PlayStation 1 and 2 games. It's comfortable. I'm down low to the ground. I didn't have a lot of space to put that TV, so that TV fits perfect under my little art table that I have set up in that room. and I really enjoy being in there. It's a fun, cozy room. I also have a VCR you'll see right underneath that TV, and I watch a lot of my older Mystery Science 3000. I have the whole collection on VHS that I bought brand new back, God, whenever it was, in the early 90s or whatever. And it's a fun room to go in, and I either will watch my old videotapes in there on the analog TV, where they look great, or I'll play some video games. Now lately, I just did a little thing on this. I found a composite cable with the red, blue, and green, whatever the different composite cables are, and you can go from your PlayStation 2 or your Wii or Xbox, wherever, and it goes into the back of your flat screen, LCD or LED TV, and you can actually play with great quality. Finally, I can play PlayStation 2 games right here in my living room, which is kind of my new thing. So even though I bought the analog TV, I don't regret it, because I'm going to be getting my Super NES, and I'm going to need that to play on there, or what have you. I've tried to capture some gameplay footage on it, but it looks rough. You see the scan lines and stuff for the TV, but I've got to figure out I'll be able to record, the Panasonic 3DO and some of these other systems on that down the road, but I'll figure something out. But I like gaming in there too, so that's like my allocated game room. It's fun, it's quiet, I can close the door in there, it's cool, in the summertime, it's warm in the winter in that room, and I also have my huge DVD television collection in the closet in that room. And then the next room over I have, all my movies on DVD and Blu-ray or whatever, but it's kind of my fun little game room, and I also have an easel in there where I do my paintings in the opposite wall of my set. So that's like a special sanctuary that I like to go into. But the living room, it's a little bit busy. My wife's desk is, behind me, and our desk is in the other room in the den. And it can be noisy. She's watching her own videos. She has her Pandora playing. And so I have to crank my surround to kind of cover up the noise, and it's like we're competing. So at times I'll wait when she likes to work out, or she's doing something in the other room, or on the phone with her mom, or her daughter in the other room or something, and I'll try to game then. I try to game when she's not out here. There's times where she likes to watch TV on the big TV here, and I just watch it with her. I can shut the gaming off. It doesn't matter to me. So it depends. There's times where I like to not be interrupted. I don't like the phone on. That's one of my habits. I like to have it quiet. I don't like to have someone coming up knocking at the door. God damn it! In the middle of a game, I got to stop and see who's at the door or whatever, and then try to get back into the mindset of gaming. So, especially with the really immersive games like The Last of Us, which I started to play and got like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes into it, really was enjoying it. But there were just too many interruptions, and then I had to go back to work that week, and I just said, game's too important. So that's one of my things too. I'm real funny about that. If like a game like Alien War, something that I know I'm going to really enjoy and dive into, I will save that game, even though I'm dying to play. A lot of friends go, well, obviously you don't care about that game because you haven't played it yet. And I said, no, dude, it's not that. It's that I want to savor it. This is too important a game to put in for a half an hour here and 2 hours there. I want to be able to sit down and focus on this game. I don't want to jump from this to Forza Horizon and then back and forth. It breaks the immersion for me. I like to be what I call submersed in the game, down under the surface of the game. So I'll have the lights down low, I'll make sure it's quiet. So there's times when my wife will go down to LA, she'll fly down there, and she'll visit her family and daughter or whatever, because I'm working during the day, and there's times where I just can't get away and make the trip with her. I love it. She's gone for 3 to 5 days, and I've got the whole place to myself. I can order a pizza, and I get some serious gaming. And that's usually where I'll catch up on a lot of my gaming. So I like to have it quiet. I like to have the planets line up to where I have the perfect ideal setting for my favorite games. Now, with a lot of go-to games like driving games, I'm indifferent. It doesn't matter. I can pop it in. If I got 45 minutes to kill, I can pop in, MotorStorm Pacific Rift on my PlayStation 3, for instance, or Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 3. And I love them. I have a good time with those. Getting thirsty. Throat's getting dried out. And I love those games. They're go-to games. Sometimes even Grand Theft Auto 5, I can go and just mess around. Steal a jet, race some hell, what have you, for an hour and a half or so, and it's fine. Shut it off. So, and I have a little basket I keep. I don't like to have piles and games all over my table. I'm kind of, anal retentive, like I mentioned before. My place is immaculate. It's always clean. Everything is dusted. I dust off my TV setup, which collects dust like crazy. You know, this new PlayStation 4, it's got that kind of a matte finish and that smooth, shiny black plastic, and it just attracts dust like crazy. It drives me nuts. But I keep it every week. I take a feather duster and a lightly damp micro towel, fiber towel. I wipe everything down. That's one of my idiosyncrasies. Is I make sure my discs are perfect. There's no fingerprints on the disc, no dust. My equipment's clean. I even go behind the equipment and clean and dust where all the cables plug in. I like everything clean. Even the power brick for the Xbox 360, I'll even dust that off. And I even have it elevated on a spool, on an old masking tape spool, just to keep it elevated and have air under it and all around it. I also like to have all of my consoles where they can breathe. They're not crammed in a tight space where the heat is building up. I have them where they can all breathe comfortably because I know it's important to keep them cool. That's why I've never had a problem with my 2009 Xbox 360 Elite. I keep it cool. I install all my games on it. Knock on wood, I haven't had any issues yet. And I have a brand new one just in case still in the box. But the PlayStation 3 and 4 and my Xbox 360 I have here. I also have my new composite cable setup that goes from the TV setup under my coffee table. And I take like a book and I'll set my PlayStation 2 on it and plug that in. And when I want to do my PS2 gaming, I'll bring that in here sometimes, especially if I'm going to record, because it really looks clean. I'll set up a little tripod right here on my coffee table. So I'm very particular about keeping things neat and organized. But anyway, I was saying I have a little basket underneath my coffee table here, and I'll pull that out, and I keep whatever games and TV shows and DVDs that I'm watching, or if I'm planning on playing them. Like I just got the new Splinter Cell Blacklist. I'm finishing, Call of Duty World at War, but when I'm done with that, I'll play this. So I have Call of Duty World at War. I still have not started Ghost yet. I'm going to start it right after I finish World at War. So I have all three of these games in my little basket down below here, and that's where I keep everything. Just kind of that way they're out of the way. Vinny can't screw with them. My cat loves to, little Bengal cat Vinny Corleone, which is, by the way, what I named my YouTube channel after. He likes to get in that basket too. So I have a little shoebox in the basket where I put all of these things where he can't cave them in with his weight on them. And I'm just kind of funny that way. So I like to have things organized. I will leave usually just the game I'm playing out on the coffee table. Sometimes even as a visual reminder, I'll just leave the Call of Duty Ghost on the table. So every time I walk in the living room, oh, that's right, I need to get to that game this weekend. So these are little habits I have. Snacking-wise, I'm a big eater, as you can tell. I certainly haven't missed too many meals. You can tell by the way I look. And I'm working on my weight this year. It's one of my goals, actually. But I'll have, because they're fat-free, usually I go to Costco, and they have killer deals on these big tubs of red vines. I like them because they don't gum up the controllers. I can't stand to get crap all over the controllers. So I'll quite often, and I clean my controllers all the time, keep them clean, dust off. I don't like them. They get a lot of germs and things, especially if people visiting. I'll usually use like a damp rag and some Windex or something, kind of keep them nice and clean. But I'll have my red vines underneath my coffee table where I can reach them. And that's one of the few snacks I'll eat while I'm gaming. I don't like to eat like Doritos and end up with a big orange clown ring and crumbs on your fingers and you're getting crap all over the controllers. I don't like that at all. So I'll usually do my snacking beforehand or after a gaming session. But I always have my trusty Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi. It's just something about, and I like it nice. When I sit down to game, I always have a brand new Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke freshly poured in my glass. Or at night, sometimes a beer. I'll have an IPA, my Lagunitas IPA, or a Budweiser. And I like to have a fresh beverage every time I sit down to game. I like to have like all my ducks in a row. If I have to go to the bathroom, I go beforehand. I have my drink ready. I make sure I've already eaten, got everything out of the way. The phone, I'll usually put in vibrate. I'll put it in my pocket so I'll feel it. And then if I have a break in the game, I can pause it for a minute and see who called. Oh, I better call that one back, or they can wait, or whatever. So I don't like to be disturbed, but that's life. Sometimes these things happen. My wife will come in and I'll be in here filming something. She'll walk into the room and, hey, when are we going to do this? And I thought you were going to fix this yesterday. And I'm like, I'm right in the middle of filming, but hold on. I stop the game or stop my filming and see what she wants and have to kind of go back and redo it. So when you have other people, you have to kind of be considerate of it. It's the way it is. I got friends of mine that still living at home, and it's the same deal. They got to deal with brothers and sisters and parents coming into the room, and you have to kind of find the time to do your little YouTube videos or to get your gaming in if you want to be undisturbed. So that's a big thing for me, is to be organized, sit down, make the time to game the way I like to game. Now, one of my bad habits is that I don't finish all the games, or I jump around too much. I'm trying to get better at that. I just blew through, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 in like a week and a half or so to 2 weeks, because I was dying to see the story and I wanted to do them before playing Ghost. And then I realized there's a connection with the characters from Modern Warfare 2 in this series, which is kind of interesting. So, and I like to play things in succession like that too. I should probably, and who knows, I may finish, Splinter Cell Conviction before I dive into the new Blacklist. I'm afraid I'm going to miss something in the story, so I like to kind of go back and see things in their chronological order. Not that you have to, but it is nice to do that. Let me think what else. So, we all have habits and things that we like to do. I'd like to hear from you. I mean, what habits do you have with gaming? Do you have any rules at your house with gaming? Now, I have some friends that come over, and they're rough on the controllers. I had my one friend, Chris, back in the late 90s, like with Duke Nukem Forever, he'd get mad, and he'd throw it into the couch because it's soft. But at his house, he'd throw it against the wall. I mean, I went over there one day, and there were holes in the wall where he'd punch his fist through the wall. And one time his PlayStation 1 he threw it against the wall. And he, screwed it up and had to go out and buy another one. Not real bright. But you'd get really violent with Manhunt, or even with like Grand Theft Auto 3 or something. I'd see him starting to nut up and go nuts. I'm like, dude, really, please, no, don't, and he'd throw it into the couch. And I have to lecture him, please, for the love of God, don't ruin my controls. Oh, I'm sorry, dude, believe me, if it was my controller, it would have gone into the wall. I'm like, well, just take a deep breath, dude. Have a few less rock stars, These kids today, they just pound these energy drinks. They get wound up like they're on crack cocaine. And they wonder why they can't control their tempers or their moods. But I like to be caffeinated, but I don't like to be just where I'm going to have a heart attack. It's bad enough I drink enough of this Diet Pepsi. God knows what's in it, Diet Coke and all that. My wife is in the process of lecturing me right now on all the aspartame and crap in the diet sodas. So I'm debating whether to give it up. I got to have my caffeine. So sometimes I'll make big pitchers of iced tea and drink that instead. But so the gaming thing, I don't like people roughhousing with my gaming stuff. I put the disc in myself. I don't want them scratching it, grinding it into the PlayStation tray or whatever. Quite often, I'd actually prefer handling. No, here, dude, I got that. And I'll carefully, lovingly pick it up, no fingerprints on it, put it inside the console, the tray, and just everything by the book. I'm very careful with my things. I work too hard for it to just see stuff get chewed up and ruined. So I like to take care of my things and my collection, my movies, all of it, the same thing. Even my old record collection, I was real funny about never getting scratches on them or fingerprints. So again, these are kind of some of the habits that I have. But finishing the games, I'm going to try to focus on that more this year, of getting through games and finishing them. The problem is that you'll deviate. Like recently, I went in to just film some more of Grand Theft Auto 5, and I already forgot after 6 weeks half of the controls. I'm walking around with a Mac 10 in my hand, and I don't know how to put the thing away. So I got to stop and get the book or the little booklet inside the case and read it and see, God, what am I not doing? And so that's one of the benefits of seeing a game all the way through, is you get acclimated with the controls. Night after night, you continue until it's done, and then you get on to the next game, and it may have its own set of controls. So I applaud my friends that have the ability. With the ADD, I'm all over the map. So even though during the day I'll think about a game I want to play, I'll get home, and then sometimes most of the time, 80% of the time, I'll play that game and I'll follow through with exactly what my plan was. But I get sidetracked. My wife wants to watch Netflix instead, or I'll come home and for whatever reason I just feel like a driving game all of a sudden. I'll pop that in first. Another habit I have is when I come home, I can't just put the game system right on. I usually will have a bite, I'll sit down, relax with a beer, or, whatever else, and then I like to sit down and just watch through my Xbox 360, my YouTube app, and I'll watch just like 20 to 30 minutes of YouTube videos first. It kind of gets me in the mood for gaming, and I'll usually go through it. I'll even watch them, like right now I'm going to play Splinter Cell Blacklist pretty soon here, so right before I put that in, it's been so many months since I've seen reviews, but I'll probably go back through and watch a few of my friends' reviews of it, just to kind of get me excited and all worked up. I'll watch the original trailer of it, the official trailer from Ubisoft. I'll watch my friends' reviews of it, Adam Sessler's take on it, what have you, and it's a great way to get all pumped about getting into the game again. So that's one of my little habits, is quite often before I start a game, like before I start Fallout 3, when I started later this year, you better believe I'll be going through and watching Mark Bussler's review of it again on Classic Game Room, and a few of my other friends, because I love to get inspired just to watch the game. That, to me, is part of it, is the build-up. Being at work all day, in a mindless job, it's just so tedious. I mean, my brother-in-law is a contractor in construction, too. And he goes, I'd rather put a shotgun in my mouth than to do what you do all day. How can you do that painting all day? It's just so boring. I go, well, gee, thanks, But I said, someone has to do it. And it's what I do, and it's what I do well. I like a lot of alone time and quiet time. I don't have radios blasting when I'm at work. I don't like to, customers, I like to be quiet. I respect their home or what have you. But I actually use the time to get a lot of gaming in my head. I'll be stuck on a level the night before, and sometimes instead of when I start to rage, I just shut it off and say, I'm going to sleep on it. The next day, all of a sudden, I go, hey, I never thought of approaching it this way or that way. Or I'll think of something I haven't tried. So there's a famous French philosopher, Pascal, which I love his books, and some of his quotes. And one of his quotes that I kind of live with, it's become my own philosophy, is that all of man's troubles stem from his inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Sometimes I like to come home, and I don't. In the old days, I had to have my Black Sabbath or Rammstein or Nine Inch Nails or something cranking all the time. Now I kind of like the quiet. I got the radio going in my truck as it is. When I come home, especially if I beat my wife home, I just like the quiet. And I'll just sit here and just think about the games that I want to play. I'll think about the show I want to watch that night. Or I'll just think about the day and things that didn't go so well, or things that I want to prepare. And it's a great way of getting my mind in order, so when I sit down to put a game on, I am ready. I don't just, in the old days, I just run home immediately, get right into my gaming thing. And if I had a really rough day, I'm all wound up, pissed off of things that have happened today, or bad customers or whatever, I take it out in the game, and I find I don't enjoy myself as well. So I take the time to do a lot of meditating, and I find that my gaming improves a big amount. It's substantial. And I enjoy the process more. So sometimes quieting my mind and going within and meditating a little bit before I enter into the realm of gaming, which I take my gaming seriously. And I think that's why I get so much out of it. My imagination is so vivid. I can still play PlayStation 1 and 2 games, and I can still have that magic. It's still there, because I get into it. But with the music and the art design and the vibe, I try to get into the vibe of what those game developers intended for that game to be. What was it they were going after? I believe games are designed to be fun, that they're engineered that way. I can't believe that any game was designed to be, crappy. I think they're all designed with a goal in mind to be fun and to be challenging. Sometimes they, miss the mark a little bit. And I enjoy it. Like I said, I've done rants on, my guilty pleasures. I like all the good games, the bad games, all of them. Rogue Warrior. I can't think of half of the bad ones. I mean, there's other games I like that, just other people aren't real crazy about. That Land of the Dead, Road to Fiddler's Green, which I was shocked to hear got horrible Metacritic scores, but I like it. So I'm not fussy about the games, but I do take them all seriously, no matter what they are. My Trials HD, which I love, on my Xbox Live Arcade, my God, I mean, that thing, that one makes me rage, because when I have to do a level, 20, 30, 40 times to beat it, then I'm already kind of italicized on the couch with my controller, and I'll go from that, I'll sit up, and I'll stand up sometimes with a controller, and I'm screaming at the TV, and my wife, like I've mentioned before, she comes in, okay, that's it. I'm not going to put up with this, or whatever. And it's funny, and I have to, it reminds me, I'll try to calm down, but if I start getting worked up again, I just shut it off. and I kind of get back on that mindset again, and then I go back to it, either that night or the next day, and it's fine. Sometimes I had to stop playing that Trials HD and Trials Evolution. Those games were brutally tough because I got obsessed with beating the harder levels on it, and everything has to be super precise. It's a real balancing act, and those games are fun. Again, I have to be in the certain mindset to play the Trials, Trials HD and Trials Evolution. Certain games, FPS games, when I'm in the mind frame for those, and I love them, I can go nonstop and chainsaw through 5-6 hours like nothing on those because I'm really enjoying the experience. But again, the more immersive, in-depth games and big, huge epic games like Skyrim, I haven't played, but a lot of people, a game like that, that's something I want to play for 5 or 8 hours straight, without interruption in a dark cave. That's kind of how I like to play those kind of games. I try to have even my surroundings, even the colors I choose for my home, I paint in neutral, warm, kind of earthy tones and colors so it's comfortable for me. I like to be in an environment that's comfortable. My other room is more cheerful gaming room for playing those older fun games. So I'm real big on lighting. The type I put in warm lights instead of just cold, yellow fluorescent lights. I get these soft pink ones which create a nice calming effect, and I'll put those in my lamps. And it's just everything can affect your mood. The room temperature, the lighting, everything. So I try to set up the perfect environment for gaming. It's not always possible. The PC gaming I used to enjoy years ago in the early 2000s when we first got our PC, and I got like Silent Hunter 3 and these really cool submarine simulations and stuff. And I put a lot of time in, but I get into it so much, I'm sitting upright in the chair, my neck starts to hurt after a while. It just gets uncomfortable with PC gaming for me as I've got older with my injuries and what have you. So I like the couch. Some games I can be, just kind of chilling and going an open world game and exploring, and I'll lean back on the couch, and other times I'm more, italicized. So the couch is nice because I can move around at different angles and get comfortable and lean forward and lean back. And sometimes when the menus are loading, I'll just take a break and lean back, and that works for me too. But these are all the things that I enjoy about gaming. I'd love to hear from you, your habits, your favorite idiosyncrasies, things that you will do or you won't do with games. Split screen can be fun too. My nephews come over, like I said, it's not as often as it used to be, but I enjoy playing with them. Another thing that I'll do too is that I have 2 controllers for the PlayStation 3. So, and you charge one up. What I'll do is I always have them both charged. I can't stand turning a game on and I got 1 bar in the controller. So I'll have one game or one controller charging up while I'm playing the game. And then when one dies, I just rotate them and do the same thing with my PlayStation 4. Although I haven't actually taken the one out of the box yet for the PS4. I still have it in the box, but so people are complaining, oh, my PS4, I only get a couple hours out of it and the batteries go bad. Well, that's why I have 2. So when I get back into, like when I do start playing Ghost, I'll probably take the other one out of the box, because that one I'll play for hours on end, and I'll charge up the other one while I'm doing it. I guess you can use a micro cord phone charger now on those, from what I've heard. So I like to have everything ready to go. I mean, I've already downloaded and installed, the 49 gigabytes of Call of Duty Ghost already, just because I can. It's ready to go. And then I've also charged up, just the other day, my PlayStation 4 DualShock, controller, because I want it ready to go. So when I'm ready to sit down and play that game, I don't want to turn it on. God, the thing's dead. Now what? So I like to prepare, and I'll plan things out ahead of time. On the weekends, I like to clean and dust, once a week, all my stuff. So for the whole weekend, usually on Friday, if I get home early, I'll dust everything. That way, it's clean for the weekend. Everything's nice and clean, ready to go. I feel good about sitting down, enjoying a movie and my favorite games. So, the other thing that I enjoy also, not with every game, but I have a pretty vast collection of strategy guides. So, especially like a game like Grand Theft Auto, 5. I bought the nicer, upgraded, guidebook for that. I just recently got, Lost Planet 3, and I bought the strategy guide with that as well, because I've never played the Lost Planet games, and I like to know the strategies. I don't like to read too far ahead into the book to see spoilers or what have you. But I'll read in the beginning. It'll talk about the weapons and the people that you'll meet. And I'll go through the pages. And then if I get stuck, I like having the maps that show the locations of the audio files and collectibles and stuff like that. So I'm real big on having, I sit down, I make sure I have my strategy guide always by my side. I'll make sure I have, my light on up here where I can see at nighttime. And in my reading glasses, I'm ready to go. And I'll sit, I love to refer to the guides often. In the old days, it was going into the other room, the computer, going and reading the facts. Sometimes I have to do that too. I have some of the Prima e-guides, like the Game Syndicate. You can't get a physical, strategy guide, so you have to go online and do it. And it's frustrating. I don't like that. If I had a tablet or something, I guess I could have that and scroll down and have it right there. But I have several actual e-guides on Prima strategy guides. And I'll just go in the computer in the other room, I'll pause my game and go in and take a few minutes and look, oh, okay, that's why I'm not getting advancing. I didn't realize you got to, use this weapon in this boss battle or what have you. So I take my guides seriously. I get a big selection of them. I'm starting on my collection of my older guides. Some of them I still have from the PlayStation 1 and 2 days. And I'm slowly getting a few more. Like I just recently got the Frontline Medal of Honor guide because I'm dying to go through that game again. So the Call of Duty games recently, a lot of those are pretty, there's not a lot of collectibles, and they have some intel you can gather and computers and stuff, but those games I just play usually through without a guide. But a lot of the games are really in-depth. Even when I played, Vice City and a lot of those GTA games, I like having the guide to find all those collectibles and it will give you options. You can do it, your missions 2 different ways. We suggest this, but you may want to do it, guns blazing, do it this way. So I like having the guides. Again, I like having everything organized. I've got all my games neatly put away. I like to group them too. Like I have all of my, FPS games in one section. I keep all my driving games I like to have in a neat stack on my shelf, so I can refer to my driving games at a glance. I don't like to be searching for things. Some people, they'll have the games alphabetically listed in their collection, or they'll have them by the year they came out to the more recent ones, and that's fine. I think that we all have our little routines and rituals for how we like to structure our gaming environments, our collections, how we take care of our consoles or don't take care of them. That's all a big part of it. So I'm looking forward to getting some more of these consoles this year, and I'm gonna have to build some more shelves or something to have a collection, so I can have all my Sega games and my Super NES games, and if I get a N64, I'm gonna get a GameCube too. I saw this Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 that Mark Bussell did a review of, and I've seen some other reviews and gameplay of it recently. It looks really good. So I'm going to get a GameCube just to play those Star Wars games, which apparently were exclusives. I really miss the Star Wars games and would like to play those again. So I'm going to have to make room and find a place to put all my consoles and collect them. I might get some shelves or something. So I'm still working. My game room is still under development. You can go back in my archives. I did a little virtual tour video, which kind of shows my whole house and setup. It's changed a little bit since I filmed that. That was when I just bought the house and painted it. But I'm a little bit more settled now, and I'm slowly organizing things a little bit better. But I like to be organized, and like I said, I take my gaming seriously, and we all have our weird habits about them. I just saw recently, Dave at Lawnboyspost1975. He talked about one of his bad habits is he'll mix the games up. He'll have a DVD case, and he'll have a game in there. He goes to go play one of his favorite games, opens it up. Oh shit, what happened to it? And it's inside a movie case, or it's double stacked with another game or something. And that's one of my pet peeves. I like to be organized with that. I've done that from time to time. When I was younger, I would do that. I would double stack my games. Mostly it was CDs. I'd change CDs a lot, listen to CDs. And then I'd spend a year looking for it. Like, what the hell happened to it? So finally, I had a belly full of that, and I never did that again. So again, it's nice to be organized, and that's how I enjoy my gaming anyway. So put in the comments what your favorite habits are. I really would like to hear things that your pet peeves, things that you look forward to with the gaming, your routines, whether you play a game, sit down from start to finish, do you hop around like I do? Things that you know that you need to make improvements on. I'd love to hear it. It'd be a lot of fun. So Anyway, thanks for watching this segment, guys. Something I've been thinking about for a while, and I just enjoy the full gambit of everyone's opinion. I really love the gaming community and like to hear from all of you. So enjoy your games, and thanks for watching.